Okay, here we are, retail wrap number 8. Very happy Easter to everyone out there. This is Easter week for us. Awesome time to be in retail. And it must be a slow news day today because we are going to talk about snails.
Slow down! I want to get there, but I want to get there alive!
Yes, thank you very much. There is a shortage of snail meat in Australia, and snail meat has grown in popularity as local farmers are struggling to meet the demands of the environmentally friendly meat source. They feed themselves, they don't produce any greenhouse gases, and you don't need any machinery to breed them. And the snail industry has seen a rise in popularity in dishes that use snails such as escargot, pate, pizzas, pastas, with snail meat actually containing more protein than seafood. Snails are also being used for, wait for it, facials. Mate, they put snails on their faces. It's called escargot, and they are good for the rejuvenation of the face. It's true. It's also found to be a good source of vitamin B12, magnesium, selenium, and omega-3s. But if you're thinking about heading down the garden path, think again, because the majority of snails in the home garden may have some form of pesticide. You might want to get them from a reputable place like a snail farmer. They haven't quite hit the supermarket shelves yet, but like I've said in the past, we do get whatever our customers want. And if you do want us to start getting snails in, leave a comment below. Snails, what are we going to eat next? In devastating news, a pregnant sperm whale was found off the coast of Italy with 22 kilos of plastic in its stomach. It's disgraceful to actually think that this is going on our planet, and there's plenty of rubbish stories out there, but this one's actually hit a nerve. The garbage recovered from the 8-metre whale's stomach included corrugated tube, electrical works, plastic plates, shopping bags, and plastic bottles, just to name a few. At least 8 million tonnes of plastic ends up in our oceans every year. And if we keep going this way, by 2050, there'll be more plastic in the oceans than fish. The Australian Labor Party has recently proposed a nationwide single-use plastic bag ban to be implemented by 2021. And in South Australia, the single-use plastic bag ban has been enforced for over 10 years now. We've estimated that we have some 400 million less plastic bags in the ecosystem, and this has been a fantastic result for South Australia. The state Liberal government is also considering a ban on other single-use plastics like straws and coffee cups, and even the good old produce bag. Plastic production has risen from 15 million tonnes in 1964 to 311 million tonnes in 2014. That's almost the weight of the entire human population. And the scariest thing, this is going to double over the next 20 years. We just need less plastic, it's simple. Us doing plastic bags is not going to cut it. At what point do we need to stop discussing the ban of single-use plastic bags and actually do something about it? And in fact, New South Wales is the only state that hasn't banned single-use plastic bags. Come on, New South Wales. Imagine what that harbour would look like with a whole lot of plastic in it. Recently in the eastern seaboards, the doomsday preppers were getting prepared for what could happen without single-use plastic bags. Is the inconvenience of you actually having to remember to bring your shopping bags outweighed by the environmental impact that it actually has? With Earth Day just around the corner, maybe you want to consider what impact you're having on your biosphere. There's been a lot of talk about plant-based food and alternatives for meat solutions, but what happens when you actually bring ethics into the equation? I want to state that I have no issues with vegans or veganism, and we definitely do not condone animal cruelty. I'm all for the rights of free speech, but the actions of select animal activists over the past fortnight have been disgraceful. Protesters blocked one of Melbourne's busiest intersections, disrupting thousands of commuters. Protests such as these held by animal activists around Australia saw people chain themselves to abattoir conveyor belts, illegally setting livestock free and breaking into premises that they shouldn't have been in. The story that really got my goat was the attention that their Gippy Goat Cafe has been received. The Victorian family-friendly Goats Cafe, where your children can go and pat the goats, feed the goats and even see how goats are milked have unfortunately had to close their doors after enduring months of abuse from animal liberationists, including having their goats kidnapped and their staff being abused on a regular basis because they work in a cafe that lets goats run around for kids to pat, feed and milk. And a family business is going out of business. That's un-Australian. Animal liberationists are claiming that goats are being exploited, mistreated and demand the end of commodification of animals. In Australia, guerrilla campaigns by activists have also seen anti-meat stickers appearing on meat packets in supermarkets, and at Christmas last year, Waitrose was targeted in the UK by staging a demonstration which was blocking off the turkey aisle, not letting any consumers buy any Christmas meats at all. In January of this year, they stormed another supermarket protesting down the aisles, and in our own stores, we've had to remove product that have had stickers put on it. What that basically means is we have to then rewrap the product, which is more waste going into the bin. I respect that everyone has their own opinion, but please don't push it on others. This kind of behaviour should not be tolerated, and the harassment and bullying behaviour should not be condoned in any way, shape or form. I'm a meat eater. I flexitarian every now and then, but in general, I'm never going to give up meat. The Roy Morgan research reported in 2016 that 11.2% of Australians identified themselves as having a vegetarian diet. Although this number doesn't report the number of people who are actually ethically vegetarian or vegan versus health-based vegos, that's because the number's so small. Mate, plants have feelings too, you know.
I am Groot.
All this behaviour seeks to do is actually segregate the entire movement even further. In this day and age, there's more effective ways to get your point of view across without ruining whatever reputation you might have had in the past. And in fact, a few people, it's not only the acts that they're doing, it's illegal acts that are taking place, and that shouldn't be accepted anywhere. Tell me you want to eat vegan product, tell me you want to eat ethically sourced food. I won't disagree with you, and I won't tell you you need to eat meat. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. You're not my mother.
You didn't even listen to your mother.
In other non-vegan news, Ingham's have announced that they're going to spend $279 million into SA infrastructure, including new farms and a new feed mill, which will ultimately create 650 construction jobs, and ongoing 850 jobs along the way on the supply chain. In a time where our farmers are struggling to stay afloat, it's heartening to hear that in agriculture, business seems to be succeeding. Ingham sends out 160,000 tonnes every year of chicken all over Australia. Great for SA, great for agriculture, and great for Australia. Easter, aside from its obvious religious significance and holidays, for some, not in retail, the commercial reality nowadays is that people associate Easter with chocolate eggs. The egg and the bunny are steeped in pagan traditions, with both symbolising fertility, birth and renewal, which has long been associated with Easter. So how did we go from this to this? The first chocolate Easter eggs were made in the early 19th century with our French and German compatriots. It wasn't until 1870 that manufacturing advances allowed the mass production of hollowed chocolate eggs. Arguably the most famous chocolate egg being that of the Cadbury's chocolate egg, created in 1875. Chocolate eggs are produced for 8 months of the year, so it shows you how many Easter eggs we're actually consuming. There's a lot of you out there that are going to eat Easter eggs like me. Just remember, an Easter egg this big takes 20 minutes to work off. So there you have it, retail wrap number 8. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you share and also follow me if you want to see other things. And most importantly, have a happy Easter. Forget that last bit, but I got that, yeah? Well, yeah, oh, $2. 6 chicken nuggets for $2. Is they feed themselves. They feed themselves? Eight?
No, that's 6.
Oh, that is so funny.